Hi everyone, welcome to the Thriving in 2020 show, how to create more time and more money and a body that you love in 2020. So my name is Miko Lau and I'm your host, and today on this interview we are featuring Kathryn Roberts. She is the founder of Quest for $47, and she is a content strategist, mentor, and coach for female online business owners who are struggling to really make their voices heard in the industry. Kathryn is amazing in what she does, and I'm so honored and really excited to have her on this show today to really share about how she was able to not only create the success in her life, and now she's really blessing so many other online business owners out there on how to do exactly the same thing so we can live the thriving lifestyle that we also, desire and deserve. So with that being said, Kathryn, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this. This is so much fun.
Yay. So let's jump straight into the interview. I love to start off our interviews this way with all my speakers. I'm so curious to know, where were you before the work that you're doing today? Like, where were you financially, emotionally, mentally, that really started off this for you to do the work that you do today?
Oh, that's a great question. So my story started a little bit more than a decade ago. I decided when I was 19 years old that my career was going to be in college sports as a media relations PR person at a college for certain sports. And I did that for a decade, and it was amazing. It was great. It was doing what I loved and what I was most passionate about. But then the industry kind of changed around, and I got a little burned out with the way it shifted away from less of the things that I'm most passionate about as a statistician record keeper, and more into, something that's a little bit different and not to my taste. So I left that position in 2016 with this desire to go out and strike out my own path as a writer, as a novelist, which is something I do in my spare time. Some stuff happened. I had some very traumatic stuff that happened with my family. We had a very, very difficult falling out that really caused a little bit of damage that I kind of had to dig myself out of. And as I did so, I ended up in a very traditional, very constrictive office job, working as an office manager. I spent 17 months working for $17.50 an hour, and it wasn't what I was passionate about. And I thought that it would be a situation where I would be able to focus on my passions when I wasn't at work, because it had a lot more of a traditional, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock schedule compared to my old job in sports, which was you're basically working 24/7. But it really didn't turn out that way with the things that were happening in the company. And I just realized that I was not a great fit for that, very stringent, you come in, you're there before 8 o'clock, you're working, you have your noon to 1 lunch hour, and then you leave at 5. You have to commute home, and you're just exhausted mentally and physically by the end of the day. And it's mental and physical exhaustion working in an office, which is maybe a little bit of an, oxymoron or something, but it was really very emotionally taxing for me with everything that was going on. And I just remember sitting on my couch. It was about April of 2018, and I was on the phone with my very close friend who was also a coworker. And we were just talking about different ways to make money. And I had been familiar with how to make money in the online space before, because that's kind of what I dabbled in 2017 while I was dealing with all the trauma, which really did not put me in the right mindset of being able to be successful, which I know we'll circle back on later. And I just remember sitting on my couch and thinking, how much money would I need to make in passive income on the side, outside of my corporate salary, in order to cover my rent and expenses? And I got off the phone with my friend and I did a little math, and the number was $47, which is how Quest for $47 came to be. And it was originally a chronicle of how I was going to create $47 a day in passive income for myself and show other people how to do the same, and has since evolved as businesses do when you're, you know, really finding out what your ideal client needs from you, what you really are most passionate about, into this business where I get to mentor online business owners on how to be consistent in their marketing and consistent in their sales and consistent in showing up every single day so that they are making a name for themselves and making a space for themselves online, in a way that is easy, doesn't take up all of their you know, very valuable spare time, getting the most return on your investment for the things that you get to do every single day, even if it is just what you get to do in that 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock space of the lunch hour you get to take advantage of. And it's been so important to me to be able to show other people that there is a way to live life right now and not have to wait until the mythical goal of retirement, which isn't even guaranteed. I will never forget sitting at my desk in that office job, scrolling through Instagram, pretending that I was working, but I really wasn't, and seeing all of my friends who had been in Vegas. And it was a trip that I wasn't invited to because I knew that I wouldn't have been able to leave and get back at the same time as them because the job that I was working, I got paid time off. But when I asked to use that paid time off, that was the struggle. And it made me feel so awful and so guilty for asking for something that I rightfully earned. And I realized eventually that that's not how you should feel. Even if you don't want to, you know, use your side business or your online business to leave your 9-to-5 job, you should never feel like you are guilty for, you know, wanting to take your time, take advantage. I was like cramming in family trips. I grew up in California, so I was cramming in trips, like leave Saturday morning, come back Saturday night, feeling really guilty if I needed to leave early for a doctor's appointment or to fulfill some of my obligations. I still do dabble in working in sports. And I never want to anyone to have to feel that way. And I know that I never want to feel that way again. And I'm never going to be put in the position to feel that way again, because there are other ways of creating a life for yourself, following your passions. And that's what I am so passionate about, empowering others and showing them just how that's possible.
No, I love everything that you share in that piece, because like I resonate with that so much. You know, when I first came out college from UC Berkeley and I started working those typical jobs, I really just felt that heaviness in my soul, in my heart, that I shouldn't have to, you know, even ask for permission if I want to take a day off, or if I'm sick, I want to stay home. But like that constant struggle of like having to take care of ourselves, but then shutting, like when we don't go to work, the income is not going to come in. So like that struggle was just like, it's so real for everyone, most of us listening right now. Like, and I love the fact that you broke this down to something so simple, and it's like more attainable when you say it's just $47 a day. If we can create passive income that can you know, just generate $47 a day, like that is attainable. That is not like a scary goal that you know, that's so out there, which I believe a lot of people are afraid of making those leaps because they think that it's just impossible. So the fact that you break it down to something so small and so attainable, I think it's amazing. So why don't you go into telling a little bit about like, and we'll go into so, and also I love that you bring in like, first you help people with the content strategy, and then second you also touch on like the mindset piece, the inner transformation. So I'm excited to talk about the inner transformation because that's what I believe in. So let's touch on that first, and then I'll ask you about the content strategy. So you mentioned earlier about how like you were not in the best state of mind, you know, at the beginning of your journey. You had to go through some trauma. So like, how was that inner shift happen for you, like that really started reflecting in the success that started showing up in your life?
Yeah, it was, I really started out in a space of desperation. Like I was desperate to make what I wanted to do work. I was desperate for the easy path. And I was desperate for something that you know, thought that I wanted to do, or I thought that I should be doing. When I left my sports job, it was just desperate for anything, and I found myself working on one of those like gig economy websites. I won't shout out which one, but I don't recommend it. And it was just somebody will spend a few bucks for you to do like multiple hours of work, and it was just really not sustainable. But I was like, this is how you're supposed to start, right? But it was so important for me to realize that you don't have to start from the bottom, and you don't have to start from selling your offers for as low as you can go to undercut the competition, because that's really not showcasing your value. And people really see, if she has $1,000 monthly coaching package, she must be, it must be worth it. And it doesn't have to take you all that much of an intuitive leap to get there. And so when I recommitted at the end of 2018 to starting my business, making it something that created me income, making it something that allowed me to make an impact, I bought a course that was like one of those kitchen sink course. You're going to go from zero to business in 90 days. And I started it, and then I stopped in module 1. And it was like, that's a problem. And I kind of let it just sit there. I kind of, there was a Facebook community that was part of the group, and I was really inactive. And I was like, what is going on? And I realized ultimately that it was my mindset that was the problem. And my mindset wasn't prepared to be an online business owner, and wasn't prepared to be the person that I wanted to be, the person that I'm now, the person that I'm still in the process of becoming. And so I ended up buying another course, but this one was actually focused on the mindset aspect of how to really determine what you want, and then how to make that happen for you in your life. And that was an absolute game changer for me. And I'll shout out the course was Kathryn's and Kina's Manifestation Babe Academy. And so learning from her and learning the mindset piece from her has been an absolute transformative game changer for me. I'm actually going through the course again, and I do that periodically to remind me of all of the things that I know that I need to do to be successful, the things that I keep in my routine. Routines are critical. That doing the things that are going to make you most successful are things that you have to do every single day, whether it's meditating in the mornings or meditating in the evenings, or knowing what your money-making activities are in your business, or journaling out, the successes and the lessons of your day. I don't call them failures, because nothing is a failure. It's just a lesson. And really doing the inner work to find out what you want, what you truly are here to do. Because it's not the money. It's never actually about the money, whether it's how much does this course cost, or how much do I want to make, or how much do I charge. It's all about the impact and the value that you get to provide. And if you're willing to provide that value for free, then you're going to make money, no matter what. And then, you just take it to, yes, I'm willing to do this for free, but I am also going to put a price tag on working with me one-on-one, so that I can sustain myself and buy groceries. And it's so important, and really to start with, who are you? What kind of person do you want to be? And how can you embody that person, that most amazing version of yourself, that most capable version, the most successful version right now? Even if you're not seeing that success yet, when you embody that success comes to you all that much faster.
Oh my goodness, Kathryn, I'm so glad I asked this question first and have you share that, because I am a total believer in doing the inner work first, right? I also started my entrepreneurship journey just like most people do. What is the quickest way to cash, right? What is the quickest way that I can make the most money so I can live this freedom lifestyle? And most entrepreneurs, sorry, I get so excited. They all start off this way, and then they want to find all these get rich quick systems and strategies, and they go at it and they grind and they hustle. They work hard, like the culture that we have to work hard, to the point where they are frustrated, they're desperate, they're depressed, because they didn't do the inner work first. So they're just pushing and kind of like driving a car without the feel. So tell us more, other than the Manifestation Babe course that you did. What other day-to-day inner work activities that you personally take that is super powerful that, our listeners can also even start implementing starting today?
Number one thing is engagement. It is all about engaging with your audience. That is the top of my list every single day is when I journal every day, and I set my intention, and my intention is always to be present and to be engaged and to engage directly with my ideal client, which is something that I will admit I did not do as much when I started off, but it's something that has, since I've started doing it, it's made things change so quickly for me. It's helped me be a better business owner, to engage with my ideal client, engage with my audience, even engage with people who may not be my ideal client, or that I might not think are my ideal client, but turn out to be my ideal client. And I will never forget, one of the most important things, especially if you're deciding to really dive into being an online business owner, it's not just making enough to get by. It's really, I spoke with someone recently, and they're like, I just want to make enough money to pay my bills. So I'd like to do something on the side of my current job. And I told her, look, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm probably not going to tell you the answer that you're looking for, that you want to hear. But if you're looking to just make sure your bills are paid, get a better job, get a second job, get something that's going to make you more money. Starting a business is not for the faint of heart. It's for somebody who is committed, who is driven, who is passionate about what it is they do and who they're here to serve. It takes showing up every day. It takes a concerted effort, and it takes, striving for more than just, I want to pay my bills, or I want to, do more for my children, or I want to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. It's, I want to be someone who makes an impact. I want to be someone who is showing another person that there is another way, and I am committing to show up every single day to do that. And so when I have to tell, online business owners who are, thinking about it, or people who want to make more money, it's, are you in it to win it? Are you really committed to the long-term vision? Not, oh, I just want to make a little bit on the side. It's the major commitment. And that's a serious mindset shift that a lot of people aren't ready for. And that doesn't mean you're never going to be ready for it, but it does mean that you have to know that from the start, that this is not just something that you just get to do. It is something that you get to make a priority in your life, and really make into something amazing when you put in the work.
Awesome. So why don't we segue into the next part, and why don't you share with us like the actual logistics, like the action steps that all of us would really have to implement and put in terms of tapping into the online space to grow a business, right? It's all about content. I know it's about like marketing, reaching your audience. So like, how do we even begin to do that? Like, what are the first couple of steps to build up that foundation for anyone who's considering like diving into the online world to open a business?
It's very simple. It's figure out who you're here to serve and find out what they want. Because you may, I see so many people who are like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'm going to create a course, and then I'm going to start marketing it without, researching and finding out if their ideal client actually wants it or actually needs it. And they put in so much time and so much effort into something that they don't actually want. So you have to start with, who are you here to serve? What do they want, and what keeps them up at night? And I know that there's a lot of back and forth in the online space about the necessity of having an ideal client. I think it's critical. And it's not, oh, this is Martha from West Virginia, and she has 2 kids and brown hair and blue eyes and wears boho chic clothing. It's what keeps your ideal client up at night? What do they struggle with? What do they wish that like a magical fairy can just plop a solution into their lap that will make their life so much easier? And when you find that out, and when you figure that out and figure out that framework, which you get to do repetitively and you get to do on a regular basis, because the more often that you do it, the more specific you're going to get, the more easy that answer is going to come to you, and the more the easier it is to find those people, because that's the next step, is find those people where they are. So if you help moms better budget to get more bang for their buck out of their groceries, you're going to be looking for moms who are struggling with grocery shopping, and you're going to say, hey, what's your biggest struggle with grocery shopping? Or if you are a virtual assistant, you're going to focus on, hey, who struggles with making Pinterest graphics? I make great Pinterest graphics. How can I help you? Or if you're a business coach like I am, because under the umbrella of business coach is where I sit as a consistent content strategist. So it's, why are you struggling with your content? How are you not putting yourself in the best position to make showing up every single day in your business easy on social media? And are you strategically funneling people who see your content on social media to your email list? Because your email list is the foundation of your business and the easiest way for your people to see your stuff, because social media is a great, we'll call it a soapbox for you to shout out what it is that you have to offer and who you're here to serve. But you want them on your email list because you're more likely to be seen on your email list. And it's easier to make sales on an engaged, nurtured email list than on social media, because social media, like, only a fraction, it's a very low number, low percentage of your audience is actually seeing your stuff. And that's just a fact of life. That's just the way things work. So really, to sum this all up, it's figure out who you're here to serve, find those people and ask them what they want, and then create what they need, and then get them on your email list.
This is amazing, Kathryn. It's hilarious how I feel like you're speaking exactly like everything that's happening in my entrepreneurship journey right now. Because like at the beginning too, like just like what you mentioned, I think a lot of people kind of going at it backwards. Like they create this amazing products and service that they want to bring it out there without really knowing if the people even want that or even need that. So doing it the other way around, like you mentioned, like identifying your ideal client first and then finding out the needs and desires and then creating something specific to what it is that they're asking for. That's like, it's a no-brainer. If there's something that they need, like a toothache, if they need that solution, they will pay whatever it is to get that out, to ease their pain. So I'm curious, like this was something that I personally struggle with on my journey as an online business owner. Like one of the biggest struggle that I had was getting clarity on who my ideal client was, or what do I even like want, like what my talents or gifts are. Like how do you tie that together, right? Like we want to know their needs and the pain points, but like how do you pair that with your unique gifts and your talents together? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it's really about, what do you know best, and what are you in love with doing? Like, what comes so easy to you? I have always been I call it my creative genius, because I can come up with ideas at the drop of a hat. When I was in high school, one of my best friends and I, we had PE class together, and she was telling me about this Korean drama show that she loved, but the ending sucked. She hated the ending. She absolutely was like, I don't know why they did this. It sucked. And so we spent a PE class where I basically came up with the idea of a second season that fulfilled everything that she wanted out of the show that she didn't get. And that's where it really all started for me. Is like, I can come up with, content ideas at the drop of a hat for my business or for someone else's business. I can come up with product ideas, service ideas. I know that I come up with great ideas that are easy to implement and are out of the box. It's not the traditional, I do this for this. It's let's make it fun. Let's make it me. And helping adapt that to my audience is one of my favorite things that I get to do, especially for my clients, because they're like, I want to do this. I'm like, let's do this, but let's make it more awesome by doing X, Y, and Z. And of course, it's all about what they want to do, but it really comes down to really finding out what they're most passionate about. What do they love? What do they wake up every day thinking about and thinking that they want to do more of in their life? Like, what do they think about when they're supposed to be focused at work, or when they're, driving to and from work, or when they're at home and they're like, what do I want to do? I want to do this. And really that's the foundation of your business. And so you come up with, you don't start with the product or service that you want to create for them, but you come up with the idea of the product or service. And so you give yourself some options and some direction. And when you're doing that research, that critical research with your ideal client, you want to ask them, do you want this or do you want this? I actually sent an email out to my audience recently, and I said, I'm stuck between two options that I can create for you, A or B. Which do you want? And I said, click the link here to vote for A, or click the link here to vote for B. And I got a very resounding response from my audience very easily for which path they wanted me to go down for this new free product that I'm in the process of developing. And so it's really, give yourself the ideas and then let your audience take it from there. Because when you're the idea machine for your own self and for your own business, and you ask yourself what you love, and then you take that and say, I can do this, this, or this, keep it to like 2 or 3 options. Then you say, what are you interested in? What would serve you best that I created?
Got it. That is so genius. And what came to my mind, I'm a visual person. So like what I see is that like what we bring our talents, our gifts and our talents. I said that already. Our talents and our desires, the way that we want to serve as like a framework, like a structure. And then the details get filled up, like the colors get filled in by the questions that we ask our audience. That's what came to my mind. So that makes perfect sense. So Kathryn, I'm curious, like I love talking to my speakers on this show is because like I'm just so happy to see like people like you who have tapped into the things that you're passionate about doing, your unique gifts, your divine talents, and then you're able to bring that and create a lifestyle not only for yourself that you love, and now you're helping other people to do the same thing. So like it's my intention and my desire for this show to really like inspire our listeners to also just take the chance, like take some action after they listen to these interviews, that they can also create this lifestyle for themselves. So why don't you give us some like inspirations and share with us like what are some of your biggest rewards or blessings that came into your life as a result of you making this decision to follow your path, follow your calling?
I think the ultimate gift that I've been given is there are two. It's freedom and community, and that's the one, the community aspect I think is the one missing piece that online business owners don't go after as quickly as they can, because it's really finding your people, because in your day-to-day life, it's not as likely that you're going to find someone who's doing the same thing you do. I have a friend who we've known each other since we were kids. She's also an online business owner, and it's so exciting to be able to like have a conversation with her, and she knows what it is that I'm doing. She understands what it is that I'm doing because she's doing the same thing. But even if you don't have that in your direct community, find your people online. I have found and collaborated with and connected with so many amazing online business owners, especially through my coach, Leah Gervais, who's also been featured on this series, that have really been able to empower me and inspire me. And I get to take what I learn from them and apply it to my own business and make it work for me. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in, who you're here to serve. Find your fellow online business owners that you connect with and learn from them, let them learn from you, and just have people in your life, even if they're just people that you find online, to really, help guide you, but not like coach you, but just, encourage you on your path, to celebrate with you, to commiserate with you when you need it, and to help you see the forest through the trees, so to speak. And above all, it's all about taking action. Start somewhere. I started my business with Quest for $47 as, a chronicle of my passive income journey, and turned it into a coaching business. So it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you start. Nothing is set in stone, especially not online. Get your content out there, get your ideas out there, get yourself out there, start marketing yourself, put yourself in front of your ideal client, and learn on the way. Taking in information, soaking it up, that's great and all, but that's not going to bring you in what you want, that freedom, that abundance, that that ability to feel like I am making an impact in people's lives. I am helping others. That's not going to do it. You need to take action and the rest will come. And that's the most important thing that you can do.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I love that. And I think that like just adding on to what you said about the biggest blessings, like in terms of freedom, I think it's so much more than just the financial, the time freedom. It's about the inner freedom. It's the emotional freedom that a lot of like entrepreneurs, including myself, I'm speaking from my own journey, that I think it's like one of the biggest blessings that really come about, because when we go on this journey, it really requires that, going back to the beginning of our interview, that mindset, that inner transformation. And once you have that transformation, you can apply that in every other aspects of your life, not just in a business or like a financial standpoint. So with that being said, this has been such an amazing conversation together with you, Kathryn. And I want to take this time to acknowledge you for everything that you're doing and for taking some time out to share your insights and your expertise with our audience today. Like this has been really tremendously powerful, and I bet it has been super helpful for our listeners as well. So thank you, Kathryn. And for our listeners listening right now, I'm sure that they would love to stay connected with you and to continue to learn from you. So where can they find you online?
Well, my website is questfor47.com. That's quest, the word for FOR 47.com. I'm also Quest for 47 on Instagram, where I spend a ton of my time. I also have a free community, Consistent Content Creators, which just search that on Facebook and you'll find me. The logo's purple. You can't miss it. And I go live every weeknight in a little show called 10 Minutes Before Dinner, where I talk about online business and consistent content strategies and what you need as a business owner. And then I do that, like I said, every weeknight on Instagram and on Facebook. And yeah, that's where I am. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. Find me in stories. I'm always, throwing up polls, doing some marketing rants, and also sharing some cat pictures.
Oh, I love cats too. I'll make sure to go follow you on Instagram as well. And I will put all of Kathryn's social media links and website as well in the same email that this interview has gone out to. So make sure you go back to that and stay connected with Kathryn. And finally, I know Kathryn has a really, thank you gift for all of us for just taking some time to tune in and listen to this interview today. So Kathryn, would you mind sharing with our audience what that free gift is?
Yeah, it's my free 5-day email course, Content Explosion, where I walk you through the process of creating an entire year of blog content, which you can also adapt to social media content, any type of content, but it's an entire year of content that you get to create over the span of a week that takes the mystery about what you're going to promote, what you're going to showcase to your audience, and makes it so much easier, especially for people who are in 9-to-5 jobs, who are, or people just have busy lives. If you have kids, you have obligations, things that you're doing. Taking the mystery out of your content creation process is key to making it easy for you to show up in your business every single day, which is why I love my course so much. I adapted it from exactly what I do, and I still use the same process to this day. I've had the course for over a year now. It's a really great, really impactful, and I love having the opportunity to share it with all of you.
Awesome. I know I'm going to get my hands on that too, because that sounds like super powerful. So with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in today. And thank you again, Kathryn, for being on this show. We really love having you on here.
Thank you so much. It was a great year.
Awesome. Take care, everyone.